And I don't want to be rude or crude here, but in my culture, they say the following. Some mothers, when they get upset with their sons or their daughters, I wish I'd done a big, massive fart rather than giving birth to a child like you. Brothers and sisters, just imagine for a second that you give £10 in donation and that £10 is used to buy food or bricks or whatever to help the people in Gaza. But then just imagine this amazing deed that you want to do, but we turn it into a money-making machine. How? The waqf is exactly that. They take your money and the money that we are going to put in this waqf, this building, and every single time the money generated from that waqf, that building, is going to go to our Palestinian brothers and sisters for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 150 years. And this will be a form of true sadaqah jariyah. I myself will be donating for that, inshallah. Click the link below and donate. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless and preserve you guys. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Nas Daily, this despicable individual, backstabber of his own people, his religion. We want to know a little bit about him and his relationship with his mom, because this message is actually to his mother. She's a Muslim. I have nothing, I can say nothing against her in the sense where, whatever it may be. There is some criticisms, yes, and she is an elder. She is like our auntie, but the message is very directly to her, to our auntie, Nas Daily's mother. Now, before we do that, let's watch some videos and understand the relationship Nas Daily has with his mother. What kind of relationship is this? And then there are some powerful ayahs in the Quran which will really, really make you, brothers and sisters, understand how your relationship with your kids should be. Because it's not that at any cost or anything, whatever they do, you turn a blind eye. Never. Wallahi al-azim. If I had a son like Nas Daily, wallahi, billahi wa tillahi, I would spit in his face and kick him out of the house. Uqsum billah. I'm a father, yeah? My wife might have more mercy, etc., whatever it may be for that matter. But someone like that who sees his people being massacred, babies being blown into pieces, and then he comes and says, I'm an Israeli first, I'll say, you are a scum first, then you're an Israeli. Actually, you might even say Israeli first, then scum. I think that's probably worse. You're Zionism. It has to be you're a Zionist first. Okay, subhanAllah. So here's the videos we're going to watch. They're very short, subhanAllah, but it will tell you the dynamics that he has with his wife, with his mother. And I'm going to, inshallah, after that, give you some powerful verse from the Quran and the story of Khidr. How does this relate to this? Wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving us such a powerful message with the story of Khidr, and 2 ayahs directly telling you that your spouse, husband or wife, and your children are a fitna for you, and how we should, inshallah, deal with our own kids in this matter, inshallah. Let's watch the videos.
Yes, here in my Arab community, it is expected for the parents to pay for the kids. To pay for their car, for their wedding, for their school, college education, and even for their house. And in many of these cases, parents have to take loans. It's just part of the culture.
We love our kids.
I too could get a free car and a free house, but I had to turn it down because of dependence. Scared of getting too dependent on parents' free money. My parents and everyone's parents here are so loving, well-meaning, and generous, and I feel lucky to have them. But maybe the best gift they can give us is not a car or a house, but the gift of love and independence. My mom just called me and told me the craziest story. She was flying from Berlin to Israel. At the security check, she was asked out of many to step aside and go for a private room for inspection. That's fine. As they were searching her, my mom, with limited English, jokingly said that she has no bomb. And that's when everything went crazy. Security was informed. M16 rifles were in the room searching her. The flight was delayed, and the destination airport was informed. My mom was in tears. This elementary school teacher mom who wouldn't hurt a fly was treated like a terrorist. I understand the need for security, but what happened to humanity? To joke is only human, and my teacher mom who rarely travels loves to joke. What my mom said was a joke, but was also a fact. She has no bomb. My mom has no bomb. My mom has no bomb. My mom has no bomb. Does your mom have a bomb?
She does not have a bomb.
My mom has no bomb!
So guys, from the relationship we see, subhanAllah, number one, giving your kids everything. I don't want to say it's an Arab culture thing, yeah? Number one, that is wrong in itself. But in no way, shape or form, I'm going to blame that their parents giving him whatever he wants and paying for his wedding and car is a cause for him to turn out the way he turned out. So he turned out he should be ashamed. I would be ashamed to have a son like him. Wallah, I would be ashamed to have a son like him. I'm so sorry, I'm going to be very direct and to the point, yeah? What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say in the Quran? Let's read for ourselves, brothers and sisters, yeah? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran chapter 64, verse 14. So powerful, guys. Listen to it very carefully, subhanAllah. subhanallah, is your loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and what is the haqq, or to your kids or your wife or your husband? Okay, who do you love more? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu inna min azwajikum wa awladikum aduwwan lakum fahdharuhum wa in ta'fu wa tasfahu wa taghfiru fa inna Allaha ghafurur rahim. And in the next ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إنما أموالكم وأولادكم فتنة والله عنده أجر عظيم. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, O you who believers, indeed among your wives and your children, not wives, spouses, and children, there are some trial fitna. So beware of them, and if you pardon and overlook and forgive them their faults, then surely Allah is all forgiving, very merciful. Your wealth and your children are only a temptation and a fitna trial, and Allah has with him the greatest reward. Subhanallah, look at that. And another verse in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, another verse in the Quran, Surah Anfal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says what? وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةً وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ عِنْدَهُ أَجْرٌ عَظِيمٌ. And know that your wealth and your children are but a trial, and that Allah has the great reward with them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us all of the trials and fitness we're going to face. When you look at the story of Nuh alayhi salam, when Nuh alayhi salam made dua and said, save me and myself and my family, when his son did not come on the boat, Nuh alayhi salam questioned. He said, oh Allah, did you not say you're going to save me and my family? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rebukes Nuh alayhi salam and tells him that his family is who? The believers. The believers are your true family. Because on that day, I'll be honest with you, the way Nas Daily is behaving, this absolute dirtbag, do you think when a true war happens between Israel and real Muslims and Islamic nations, whatever, whose side do you think this guy's going to be? I have no shadow of doubt. Do you think the Muslim armies are going to trust him? Do you think they're going to trust him? They're going to think is he a traitor? He's probably going to be on the Israel side. I promise he's going to be on the Zionist side. Okay, he's going to be on the Zionist side. This is the point here. Subhanallah. So your true allies is what? Even in the Battle of Badr, there were people who had the other family members on the other side. This is when push comes to shove, that's when you know the reality. And Allah's telling you, do not take them. Subhanallah, Allah's warning you against that. And if you look at the story of Khidr, in the story of Khidr, when he was going with Musa alayhi salam, and he went and he killed a boy. Yes? And I just want to give a disclaimer, nobody's asking to kill anybody here. It's just a disclaimer, it's the story. There's a hikmah behind the story. And Musa alayhi salam said, why would you kill somebody who's innocent? And Khidr said what? Some even scholars say he was a prophet. Khidr says what? He says, indeed, he was going to grow up and be a wretched person that was going to lead his family astray. So the point here is what? That when a child dies, and it's one of the most painful things for our parents, yes? But wallahi, let me tell you something. Just imagine if this man, with his wretchedness, and God knows subhanahu will lead his family astray, may Allah protect his family, on Yawm al-Qiyamah, you're going to wish that a son like that never existed. And I don't want to be rude or crude here, but in my culture, they say the following. Some mothers, when they get upset with their sons or their daughters, they say, I wish I'd done a big fart instead of giving birth to you. I repeat again, I wish I'd done a big, massive fart, yes, rather than giving birth to a child like you. Okay, subhanallah. And, if the shoe fits, I'm sure it does. Subhanallah. That's all I want to say, inshallah. And that story tells you what? That subhanallah, sometimes we think that we know. Allah knows. Yes, our child, subhanAllah, for them to die, something happens to them, it's painful. But to have tawakkul in Allah and know, God knows, subhanAllah, were they going to be a child that, subhanAllah, was going to go astray? If Allah took them and, subhanAllah, is going to, inshallah, maybe they're going to pass the test on Yawm al-Qiyamah and enter Jannah, Allah has put you and them in Jannah, rather than them growing up and going astray and leading you astray and both in the hellfire. That is the hikmah and the story of Khidr, subhanAllah. And I'll be honest with you, wallahi, I would be so ashamed to have a son like this vile individual, subhanAllah, who has turned his back. Not only turned his back, he is supporting. You can run away. You can just say, I don't want to talk about this issue for whatever reasons. To now go against your people when a massacre is happening. Nastili, I wish I come across face to face with you one day. I will wish for nothing but I wish I can see you face to face one day. I cannot wait for that day. I cannot wait for that day. That's all I'm going to say, inshallah. And this is a message to Nastili's mother. You are our sister, and so is your husband, is our uncle. But wallahi, I'll be honest with you. If you guys were not Muslims, I'll be very, very harsh. But wallahi, your son, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him. Yes? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide him. That's all I'm going to say, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.